Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, run it back. Run it up, then run it back.
Oh, hello. That's a great start. Happy Thursday. Welcome to Run It Back. We're talking a little basketball today with Lou, Will, Chandler P. My name is Michelle B. You got Mo Williams coming up a little bit later. You know I'm addicted to slot machines, so when I say Mo Williams, there's a video. Anyways, we are going to start with...
Hey, the arms look good today, Bees. The Pilates.
That was better than collarbones. Nice. Okay, we're going to start with the game last night. Still got it. We got a little overtime action, you guys. You'd love that. You'd love that for the playoffs. Cavs-Pistons, Game 5. Nice. Finally, a win for Cleveland. No, I'm just kidding. 3-2. No Duncan Robinson, and I'm sure Chandler has opinions on that. 117-113, your final. Harden finishes with 30. Well done. 8 rebounds, 6 assists, also 6 turnovers. Max Strus with 20 points off the bench. Kind of a big deal as well. They were down 15, Cleveland was, and somehow, some way, Detroit ends up losing this one at home in OT. Fourth quarter, 9-0 run for Cleveland. Dude, if you're Detroit right now, how? First of all, how? And then why?
Yeah, it feels like they definitely let one get away. And as good as Cade Cunningham was, like, in this game, the 6 turnovers again. And then down the stretch here, Max Strus kind of pickpocketed one. That was such a huge play later in the game right there. But James Harden was fantastic. Strus was fantastic. They just didn't get the proper steps and stops. And James Harden, again, he took over this game, whether it was a 1-4 high pick and roll with him and Mobley or Donovan Mitchell and Mobley. And everybody really stepped up. They got stops when it needed. It was just a great game. Jared Allen was unbelievable. So if I'm Detroit, I feel like I definitely let this one go. They were in control pretty much the entire game, and they got smoked at the end of the game. First of all, like that should have been a foul call.
Oh, we're gonna get to that.
But like, they did enough to win this game. But man, I honestly shout out James Harden. We always want to talk about his playoff woes and how bad he's been, and he's never been the James Harden of the regular season in the playoffs. He certainly was last night when his team needed it the most on the road. They've yet to win a game on the road, and he carried them to a huge victory. And now is a chance to close out at home in Game 6, where they've been fantastic, undefeated.
Oh, undefeated.
You got holes in your shirt?
Yeah, it's
Can I ask you, I'm glad you said that. Let's turn into our parents for a second.
Oh, well, shout out
Okay,
Justin.
so how much, because we know it's an expensive brand, how much was this shirt that you paid for with holes?
It's Elwood. My buddy owns the company, so I did not pay for it, but shout out Justin. Get you some free pub here.
So, yeah.
I don't know if he did.
Yeah, I don't know if they like it, Justin, but I love it and keep on sending it.
He did make our hoodies and.
I was about to get to
the merch that I was about to
get to my point, and I got distracted.
It's distracting.
But,
sorry.
What you said, Chandler, James Harden was amazing in this game. Tim Hardaway Sr., he just talked about it yesterday. You want to see that killer instinct in him. You want to see him close out games. That's all you want him to be. You want him to be aggressive, assertive, and just be intentional on attacking the basket and everything that he's trying to get from the offensive end of the floor. I thought he did a great job. Not as efficient as he wanted to be from the 3, but he used that as a weapon to get to the free throw line. That's what makes him special. And now once you guard him there, he starts going to the rim where you're also going to foul him or he's going to finish and use his ability to score the basketball at a high clip. So this is one of those games where Cleveland just grinded it out. They never stopped. I thought it was a weird game for both teams, how the game started, just turning the ball over, trying to fill each other out. And Detroit can never kind of really get out of there. I think they kind of got caught up in made shots, and sometimes they can be fool's gold. When you shoot the ball so well, it can kind of trick you into thinking that the game is going in a different way. And then once they got cold and allowed Cleveland to get back into this game, we had a different scenario. That's how you drop a 15-point lead. You know, they had 15 more shot attempts in this game than Cleveland did. But they kept shooting early in the shot clock, game management, time and score. It was a point in that game where it was 2.5, 3 minutes left. They got offensive rebound after offensive rebound, but they're shooting it right away with a 5-point lead. That's when you milk the clock a little bit. You make sure you get the possession that you want, and then you play from there. But I just thought they didn't take advantage of the opportunities that they had. They were trying to put their foot on Cleveland's neck and trying to get them out of there and make big plays, and it backfired on them at the end.
Yeah, they didn't know how to close the game. Like Lou said, they took bad shots. The turnover late by Cade was really, really bad. And then the no block out, the free throw line with James Harden was also really bad. Like, these are little things that coaches go crazy about because you drill it every day and it's tedious and guys hate it. Like, I remember going over these type of drills and it felt like middle school. Like, these
hate those drills.
The
box out drill.
Box out.
Spend 10 minutes on boxing out.
And then in the critical Game 5 at home in the playoffs, their best player doesn't do it. Like, that is just a mental lapse.
Can we just jump down to that then? Because you're talking about all of the things that Cade did in sort of the last 3 minutes and then the crunch time and the turnover and the toe and all that. Is there a world, I'm not going to defend because these are obviously mistakes that were made, but my goodness, it feels like he's having to do everything, Lou. Like everything.
I would like to see Detroit make some adjustments. Like, I know they don't have a lot of primary ball handlers on that team. Jenkins does it sometimes. Thompson does it from time and time again. But you got to put him in a position where he can catch the ball in the scoring areas and be dangerous from there. He's bringing the ball up the court. Matt Strus and Schroeder, they're just junking up the game, and they're just running and trapping them. Wade didn't score a basket. They just used him as somebody that was going to face guard him up the court while he's in the game. And if he gets the ball, we're going to use the sideline again. In another game, they use the sideline as a weapon against him. He got to stay off the sidelines, keep the ball in the floor, and get it out to guys where they can attack. If you're not going to play that way, have Thompson or Jenkins or one of these guys bring the ball up where you can catch it at the three-point line, and teams can't run and trap you while you're faced up against the trap. And even when they were trapping, he was trying to dribble his way out of it. I just think he was trying to do too much and trying to save the team and put him on his back. And it didn't work in their favor. The 6 turnovers that he had, they were critical. Every single one of them was a critical turnover and just a style of play. And like you said, in a critical Game 5 on their home court and going into overtime, you want to see your point guard be better and be more careful with the basketball, and he just didn't have his most efficient night there.
Yeah, and part of the reason why I think what makes Cade is his just casual, cool, calm, and collected ability. But then when he has these turnovers that are so unforced, it looks lazy. It looks like he's not trying, which sounds crazy because obviously he's trying, but there's just no real emotion on him or activity when he does this. And so I think when they're dogging him 94 feet and they do have Strus and Dean Wade and these guys picking him up,
was annoying.
They don't really have a second option that people are scouting for or fearing. And then really the only reason they've had success offensively is because Tobias Harris has been unbelievable. Like, he's kind of filled the role of that second scorer. Like, they would be probably eliminated without Tobias Harris. And they've gotten some flashes from Jenkins. Paul Reed's been like a nice little treat off the bench. But like, they don't really. Karis LeVert had some flashes, but like, they don't really have that guy that puts fear on other teams' defenses outside of Cade Cunningham. So he is relied upon heavily to do all this stuff. So then sometimes he does have these careless mistakes, probably because he's tired, but also probably because he's just too careless with the basketball and has to be strong with the basketball. But yeah, they don't really have. This has been the problem all year long. We've talked about who is that second option. They got to go and get a second score. Well, they don't have that, and they're making do with what they have.
Well, like I said, it's fool's gold, right? Like, think about Jenkins. He starts the game. He's the first 6 points of the game.
Fire.
And that was the only 2 threes he made. He was 2 for 8 from the three-point line.
Somewhere.
Right. So right there, Tobias Harris makes an early three-pointer. 1 for 7 from 3. So sometimes you kind of get tricked into thinking this is a great game for us, and then from there it goes to hell. You know what I mean? it goes to hell, and you have to find other ways. But for me, the adjustment is you got to find a way to get the ball in Cade's hand where he can initiate the offense at the three-point line, or get the ball at half court and initiate from there. Or he was amazing at the free throw line, just using his size, being able to bunk guys, being able to use his fadeaway as a threat at the free throw line. Why not have Jenkins they're not going to trap Jenkins up the court. They're going to let him bring the ball up rather freely. Whoever Tobias Harris's matchup is going to be, they're going to let him bring the ball up rather freely. Get it to Cade in the half court. Get it to him in those scoring areas. That way they can't trap and they can't junk up the game and put him in a position where he's trying to be the playmaker, giving the ball to a guy that can't finish that, or they know that the next pass is coming and they're just jumping those passes and getting run out.
Sure, it's a good point. Like, he can go and get those pull-ups all game long, but like, why not put him in the baseline like a little runner, a little screen action,
little dribble,
get him
handoff,
off the catch, handoff, have him set the screen into action with someone else handling it. Like, I think they do have to have a more versatile, balanced kind of offensive system. But again, this is what they've relied on all year long. This is what they've had success with all year long. They're number 1 seed for a reason. Like, this works. But in the playoffs, again, we always talk about it. They're taking away what you do best. If I'm Cleveland Game 6. I'm probably running. I'm doing him I'm guarding him like the Rockets, like KD was guarded with the Lakers. As soon as he gets past half court game 6, I am throwing a double team at him, and I am making Tobias Harris have 30.
Is it too late to tweak any of this? Like, is it too late?
No, it's still a lot of still a lot of basketball.
Series is very much alive.
You see what they've done with Jalen Duran and Paul Reed. It's not too late. It's basketball left to be played, and if there's any time that you need to make the adjustments that you feel like are going to put you in the best position to win a basketball game, it's Game 6 going into Cleveland.
Don't worry, we'll get to Duran, and the banker is in town, so she will be asking you guys some questions about him. But the end of game play, you did reference to it very shortly there, the Thompson, Jared Allen moment here, no foul.
First of all, that was a great play, but he's lucky that wasn't a foul.
And by the way, JB after the game did say this was a foul.
Bro, with 1.5 seconds on the clock.
Yeah.
This is my problem, Beasley.
Would you rather they had called this?
Here's the thing. If it got called, I understand that people would have been, let him play. Like, this is not the way to end a playoff game. I get it. But this right here is a full-blown loose ball foul. I don't care how much time. I don't care if it's incidental, accidental, whatever you want to call it. This is a foul. If this is the second quarter, he's blowing the whistle because this is a foul. There's more than a second left on the clock. This is BS. And again, they end up going overtime and losing this game when all you had to do was just make one free throw with a second on the clock, and this game is over. They're going up 3-2. I love Tony Brothers. He's hilarious. He screwed this up royally because this is a foul. They make the free throw. Game over. Pistons are up 3-2. There's no excuse for him. He's looking right at it. He is right in front of it. He blew this call.
Yeah, post-game, Tony Brothers said that was incidental contact. That is a foul. That's a trip.
But would we be sitting here going, oh, you don't end up
No, because that is a dead-ass loose ball foul.
That's a loose ball. That's a loose ball foul. You can say whatever you want to say. That's a loose ball foul. With these referees, sometimes they try to be bigger than the game, and I don't want to single out Tony Brothers, but I got to right here. This is a clear foul. This is a clear foul. You're standing right there in front of the play, and that's what makes it hard for you to have a conversation with some of these guys because this matters. Like these type of plays matter. I feel exactly how Chandler feel. With everything that Detroit went through, careless mistakes, not making shots, all of those things, traps, whatever, you put it all on the table. They still had an opportunity to win this basketball game if it is called correctly, and it wasn't. And it means something because you go into overtime against the team that now has newfound confidence, and they used it against you, and they were able to beat you. Now you got to go on the road and try to win a Game 6 and pray that you do enough to get back on your home floor when you did enough to win this basketball game, mistakes included, by just being in the right place at the right time. That's a foul. Asar, he did his job. He played defense. He got a loose ball.
Unbelievable.
Then got tripped and no reward for it. It's unacceptable.
You know, like coaches always say, one play doesn't determine the outcome of the game. You didn't lose the game because that one play, that one call. They could have won the game with the one proper call, though. So I get the whole statement. I get that JB is going to use this. Like, look, we got to be better here. We had the turnovers, the early shots, the missed shots, the missed blockouts. Those all led up to this call, but they did everything in their position to still have a chance to win this game and got screwed by a no call that should have been a call. It's point blank. That's exactly what happened. So again, you can't really dwell on it. It is what it is. But Tony Brothers smoked this no call, and I wish there could have been some sort of like review or proper steps to make this right. But they got smoked.
By the way, did you hear last night in the broadcast that Tony Brothers, when he's done, is going to run for mayor of his town? How fun is that? That was a fun little tidbit.
What town?
Norfolk, Virginia, I think, if I'm not mistaken. It's a real
Tony
town.
Brothers is an acquired taste, I'll tell you that.
I also saw that,
hate him.
you know how they do the votes and stuff, the polls? He's like top tier. He's
funny. The banter I used to have with him like before games and stuff was awesome.
He entertains me.
Yeah, that's a different thing than basketball.
No, he was voted,
Well, yeah, we give referees a hard time based on their character and their persona in the game. I don't know who Tony Brothers is when he puts his whistle down. So
no idea.
God bless him there. But with the whistle on,
know nothing about
bad
him.
no call.
Find out. That's what I'm going to do.
But he screwed the Pistons.
Well, that's fine. Do you want to get down to the Jalen Duran of it all? He was part of our same game parlay yesterday. He did vow after Game 4 he was going to be better, and then instead was benched for Paul Reed in the fourth quarter and overtime. Not signs of doing better at all. Number one, let's start here. Do we agree with the move to do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to at this point.
In 17 minutes, Paul Reed had more points and rebounds.
Well, that's pretty good. Guys.
Almost assists. But, yeah, he's just not playing well.
Happening?
It's just not playing well. Watching him on the offensive end, it looks like he's kind of just floating around, not really understanding what his position is. And kind of, to his credit, the ball is in Cade's hand a lot. They're not running a lot of actions from side to side where he can really be involved in the offense. So he's really getting his looks off of somebody penetrating, giving him the basketball, or him picking and rolling and hoping that he can get to the rim. Paul Reed, like I said in yesterday's show, he's a guy you can give him the basketball and he can create his own play off the dribble. And he's more active. So the fact that Paul Reed went out there, didn't play for 3 quarters, throw him in for the 4th quarter in the overtime, and he's more effective and he gives you more production than Jalen Duren in that 1 quarter and a half and 17 minutes worth of basketball, that's alarming, especially in a pivotal Game 5.
Yeah, if it wasn't Paul Reed playing over him, it would be someone else. Like, think about that. Like, he's their 2nd best player. He's an all-star.
Sure.
And he's unplayable. And he's unplayable in the 4th quarter and overtime, 0 minutes.
Bro.
I've kind of protected this dude all playoffs long. I see the future. I think he's going to be a stud again. He's young.
Wait, hold on, stop there.
He's playing awful.
Why do you think? First of all,
saying.
this is me putting my checkbook back in. I'm not doing this. I'm not going to.
No, I'm still paying him. He's still going to get a lot of money. It's just
Why?
this has been a real issue. And think about this. Paul Reed didn't play the first 3 quarters of this game and finish the game because JB, let's call a spade here, he did not trust Duren where it mattered the most to play in these situations. I'm not going to make it like a thing, or Paul Reed, or should he start in Game 6?
I think he does, though.
Like, I know, but
Wait,
I don't think he starts, but I think he definitely gets more opportunity. He gets more minutes.
Because at this point, Chandler, you can't afford to gamble.
It's the rebounding for me. It's like, buddy, I know you're not scored.
Yeah,
you just had a guy play 17 minutes and out-rebound you in 17 minutes. So that tells me the opportunities to go get a rebound is there.
I'm very confused with this guy.
Well, you shouldn't be. It's just
this time I think he's shown you.
It's just not working out. So again, in a Game 6, and if he's playing awful, and Paul Reed is giving you everything that you need at that position, you can't afford to not.
You're also this is it.
Opportunity.
Like you can't worry about his feelings.
Yeah,
you can't
this is it. Especially if you're saying he's going to get paid anyway.
By the way,
he's definitely going to get paid. And I can't take him out of starting line. This guy's an all-star. You're not mentioning an all-star.
He's getting paid because he's an all-star and he's a major part of your 60.
Maybe that was a false thing. Maybe it was fraudulent.
He's part of your 60-win team. But also teams. This is the playoffs where teams take
right out of that.
Yeah, he was your guy.
I hope you do put him on Team USA.
I think he's still fine, but you gotta give credit where it's due. Some teams game plan and they take away some of your strengths and weaknesses, and we've seen some of our best players in the game get lost in the playoffs because they don't know how to adjust to it. Again, Jalen Duren isn't a guy that knows how to go get his own shot. If he can't go get his own shot and they're trapping and they're blitzing the guy that's responsible for making sure you eat, that's gonna make it. That's gonna make it difficult
doing different to this guy? Like nothing.
I think it's him.
I just told you.
Mental.
He
averaged 20 and 10.
Yeah, Jared Allen, Evan Mobley.
They weren't on Orlando, and he was garbage that series too.
Right, but
this is.
I give you that.
I don't get it.
I give you that. But again, it's a trickle-down effect to me. Every time that we've seen him in this game, in this series, he's floating at the three-point line. He's floating at the free throw line. You can't give him the ball there and expect him to make plays for you. He needs somebody to get in the paint, make paint decisions, and get him the ball from there. That hasn't been the case. Paul Reed, he's catching at the three-point line, putting it on the ground, and he got bag work.
You want to say I was right or no?
difference.
You want to wait?
Just go have a big Game 6 to change the whole narrative.
You tell me we were right after the next game. We're going to take a quick break. Mo Williams on the other side. Hello, sir. We'll talk to him in a minute. Telling you, I'm putting my checkbook away.
Run it up, run it back.
Mo Williams is on fire in the tube.
Just for the record, I'm breaking it. I did it when they said that it can't be done.
That's what I'm talking about.
Champion, yeah.
Happiness. 13 years in the league. Mo Williams is here. Do you want to tell him you saw him?
Mo, I was always the biggest fan, Mo Williams. Loved your game. Love having you on.
Gonna start there.
Mo, do people call you Lou Williams as much as I get called Mo Williams?
Oh.
Does that happen in your world? Is that just my world?
No, it do.
Oh, really? Oh, that's kind of fun.
I got called Mo Williams yesterday.
Really? Would you go with it or you just keep it moving?
No, I correct him. I think everybody deserves their identity, so I correct them.
You know what I get a lot, Lou?
Oh, no.
People call they're like, what's up, Tyson? I'm like, okay, he's 7 foot and black. I'm Chandler Parsons. He's Tyson Chandler.
That is awesome.
Once a week.
Really?
All the time.
All right, well, there you go, Mo. Now you know who everybody gets confused
It's
for.
crazy. Y'all stole my only dunk of my career.
Oh, we got to get the highlights. We got to get the best.
Doing a good job on that. Okay, we're going to get to all things NBA in a second, but you are now an assistant coach over at Kentucky. Your son Mason committed there in March and is going to be a contributor to the team. I got to know, like, is this a dream to coach your kid in college?
Well, absolutely. It was a no-brainer for me. But, you know, I was a coach at Jackson State, obviously, for the last 4 years as a head coach. And I had one of my oldest son was an assistant for me for the last 4 years and still at Jackson State. And also my son, Mike, he's a player at Jackson State.
Jeez.
So I was already coaching with my kids, and I had the opportunity to take the job here at Kentucky, which was a no-brainer. And obviously now on the floor with Mason, on the same team with him. You know, for me, I just look at it as an opportunity to spend time with my kids. You know, sports bring you closer, bring you together. You know, you're always around your sport family just as much as your family, if not more. So I enjoy it. You know, it's a dream come true. It's something that I've always put into fruition, and it always came about. I was an AAU coach even when I was playing, so I always coached my kids coming up. And I have 8 boys, so I'm always around to get. Yeah.
Jesus, I'm one of 4.
That's how you living right. There you go.
Yeah. So I got 4 more boys coming up behind these guys. So.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Is one of those?
Do you sleep?
Is one of those 4 gonna? You got your eye on one of those 4? They're gonna be the best.
No, I think all of them got a chance.
That's
you know,
insane.
obviously my oldest is coaching. Then I have my other son that's a freshman at Jackson State. He got hurt, so he had the red shirt for the rest of the year. But he's pretty talented. You know, he have a chance. Obviously my son here at Kentucky, and I got 4 more that's coming up behind them. That's 13, 5, 4, and newborn. So I have no girls, so all boys.
You got your own squad.
Wild to me. By the way, I know Mason because he was originally going to do the Jackson State route.
He was coming to Jackson State with me.
So I gotta ask, like, just that conversation. Was he nervous to bring it up with you? Did you guys both go like, yeah, let's do this?
No. So what happened was my son that came to me as a freshman. He was a top 75 kid, and he was getting recruited by a lot of schools. And what happened was a lot of people were scared to recruit him because they just assumed he was coming to Jackson State to play for me. But that's how he kind of just fell in my lap. And then my other son came up, and he kind of fell into the same boat. They was kind of scared to recruit him because they thought he just obviously was going to come play for me. And when he committed, he got frustrated, committed early, like, I don't want to deal with this. I just come play for you, and I wait on you to get another job, and we just go somewhere else. So we kind of had that conversation. And so what happened was he was committed. They played against the #1 team in the country, and he went out there and had like 28 and 8 and 8, some crazy stat line, and they beat him. Then all of a sudden, like 10 schools called my phone the next day. Hey, are you sure he's going to Jackson State? I know he's committed in it, so I had a conversation with him, and I said, listen, you got to decommit. And we decommitted like 48 hours later.
Oh, fair.
And just kind of opened this recruitment back up, and a lot of schools came into the fold, and Kentucky was one of them. And I'm glad it worked out for him.
Wow. No, that's awesome.
What's that balance like? Coaching him and being his dad. I coach my daughter as well. She's 16 and under, so we still in the early stages of this process. But we do a pretty good job of, like, when I'm getting on her, I have to tell her I'm talking to you as your coach. So take the dad part out of it. What is that balance like for you, coaching Mace? Is he acceptable to the coaching, or do you guys battle a little bit back and forth?
No battle. What's crazy? I've never had an issue with coaching my kids, and I've been coaching my kids or around them coaching per se since they've been 2nd and 3rd grade. So for me, I've been asked this question a lot of times, so I know how to answer it fluently. So for me, it's like I parent like coaching, so it goes hand in hand. So how I parent is like a coach. So I'm not your typical parent. I talk to them about. I got boys, so I can treat them. I can treat them, and just like I talk to a player that I'm coaching, I talk to my kids the same way. I don't sugarcoat anything, and sometimes they laugh at some of my responses that I give them because I shouldn't be saying that to my son, but it's the same thing I would say to a player that I'm mentoring that's not my son. And I tell people all the time, how do you coach your son? I coach my son the same way I coach other players that I'm coaching because I treat players like my son.
Yeah.
So it's easy for me.
Now, I know the babies, they still young, but how many of your sons done tried your hand and told you check ball? Who done tried you?
Oh, yeah, all of them. Not the babies yet, but the ones that's older now, they tried. But I don't play them anymore. They got a little big, and I think they can,
Gotta keep your name straight. Yeah, you gotta keep it where it's at.
I gotta stay undefeated. Now, what I will do, we can shoot all day. Like that ain't never left. Even my players that I coach with, that are players that's not my son. It's after a while they stop asking me to shoot now. I tell them all the time. They'll tell my coach, let's go play 1v1. I say, listen, I don't do no 1v1, but we can shoot all day.
It's like riding a bike.
Yeah, the jumper never goes away.
Well, let me ask you this now. Obviously, Jackson State to Kentucky, it's a big jump, and the NIL now is at the forefront of college basketball, and it's kind of the main decision of what goes into getting recruits. And obviously, at a place like Kentucky, the guys are getting bags. How are you feeling going into this season? Are you guys loaded up for this year coming up?
Absolutely. I mean, obviously, we still got a couple more spots to fill. Man, it's like for me. All right, I'll answer your question, but I have to say this. So for me, I was a head coach for the last 6 years, and being a head coach, you're able to run your program, you're able to recruit. Now, I was at an HBCU, so I paid it forward. Being in that space, having a name and being in that space, a lot of guys don't do that. So I'm grateful for that. But at the same time, we're competitive and we want to be in a position to compete for a national championship. So for me, that was my decision to leave a head coaching opportunity to come and be an assistant coach at Kentucky to build something special, to have an opportunity to win a national championship, which we have all the resources in the world to accomplish those goals. So it's going out and doing what I do best, is able to go out and get in homes and recruit the best players. And obviously at the end of the day, develop them and get them to the level that they want to get to. And ultimately that's to play at the level we played at for a number of years. And I correct y'all, I played 13, but I was paid 14. So I just wanted to throw that in there.
Matters more.
That's a very fair correction.
Well, good luck, obviously, this year.
But I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, of course. Good luck at Kentucky this season. I want to switch up gears to your NBA career, and I want to start with your first stint in Cleveland, right? Your first year with the Cavs, you become an All-Star, and LeBron wins his first MVP. What was your impression, of that version of LeBron James?
He was young and he was still learning, but he was still really good. I enjoyed them was some of the best years of my career. It was kind of the beginning of my prime years per se. Everything just came so easy to me at the time playing with Bron. It just everything opened up. It was easy. I just wish I was a little bit more focused during the off season during those years. I got complacent. I think I had a higher floor I could have gotten to. But I think it was like a 3-year off season span where we was going to the playoffs and playing 100 games, and them 3 months I took 2.5 of them off. So I think if I had a different mindset, which that's why I'm a coach. That's why I help kids and get them to understand, like, hey, yeah, you played, but I could have been better. I could have did some more things. I scored 11,000 points and 5,000 assists and All-Star, but I could have done more, I felt like.
And that season, just with LeBron, like, was there something you saw, like, in camp or practice or in a game where you were just like, all right, this guy's different?
Well, preparation,
weight room.
Obviously, I was playing a lot at that time. Obviously, I was kind of the second option at that time. So, doing right before shoot around, I'm going to get my own workout in before we get on the bus and go. So I got to do a little bit more extra to be ready. It was just the off season I wasn't preparing myself, but during the season I was locked in. So I'll walk downstairs to get on the treadmill or get me a light workout in before a shoot around. He's finishing up. You know, he's already at the gym. When we get on the bus and get to the gym, he's already finished out a workout. Go through shoot around with us. Then we get back to the hotel. First bus at 5:15 or whatever the case. He leaving at 3:30. He already done worked out. By the time we get there and start warming up, he on the table getting his body worked on. He was doing this, you know, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, so for me, just what I seen at that point of my career, wishing that I could have just said, you know what, I'm just gonna be a fly on your wall and just do what you do. I saw a thing on social media today. It cracked me up. So I'll give you this story. So it's a guy saying, I can't afford a personal trainer. So he's sitting there watching a trainer train another person, just mimicking everything they do. So
I've always thought that was the way to do that. Like, right? Why am I paying?
Same thing.
I can just do this. Just do the same thing.
I wish I would have done something like that. I probably would have played 20 years and got paid 21.
That extra year is always the best part. By the way, Mo, during that stretch, you guys, the rival was over there in Boston with KG, Paul, Rondo, Ray Allen. It's a very chatty group of men. Was there hate there? Was there just like, I can't stand these guys and I want to beat them every time? Like, what was the real feeling?
Well, it was a rivalry hate, but it was a lot of respect.
Sure.
I mean, Rondo was probably the most respect. Let me think. Yeah, he's probably the most respected from my standpoint of my battles, especially during that time, you know, because we just saw him every year. And when we thought the rivalry was done, when Orlando took us out in 2009, and then we coming back next year, we got Shaq. So we preparing for Orlando, and guess who we run into? Boston. You know, and obviously we weren't prepared for them again, and they took us out, and obviously you know what happened after that. But man, that was the dunk y'all saw that you showed at the pregame. Yeah. That happened in that series. So man, it was just a series that we always was up for. You know, Boston, they had all the personalities on their team with the Tony, with KG, Perk, you know, Rondo, Ray. I mean, good Lord, they was loaded, you know, and obviously we had a good team also, and we had the best player in the world. So it was always fun. I always enjoyed those battles. But at the end of the day, they got the best of us.
Man, I spent a lot of time around KG these days, and let me tell you, he is the same exact person right now that he was when he played. He always got some trash to talk. He always got some good game to give you. He's intense all day long. You got any good KG stories from those times, from those battles? Yeah.
I got one, and it ain't even from that battle. I was still in Milwaukee. This before I got to Cleveland. He was in Minnesota. I'll never forget this. So Andrew Bogut. Y'all remember Andrew Bogut? Mm-hmm. So it's the end of the game. We kind of closing out. You know how you get fouled and you got to walk to the other end of the court. You know, got to close it out. And this is in true KG fashion. And I'm a lead the N-word out. So, so we walking back down the court. So I'm looking at Bogues. I'm like, Bogues, go on, close this S out. Man, KG, look, we all walking together. KG looked at me and said, N-word, he ain't you. He ain't built like that. Oh, what you? And he just loud. You could just hear it loud. I just looked at Bo. I said, Bo, don't worry about what he's talking about, man. Say it again. He just keep repeating the same thing. But I was young. I was like maybe my 4th year in the league. So I'm like, first of all, I sat back and said, yeah, KG, respect me. That's all I was thinking about. Yeah, I got a lot of respect for KG. And that was like my 3rd and 4th year. And so that's the kind of the story I got. I don't even know if he remember that, you know, because he had so many opportunities.
In our building, he's downstairs, I'm upstairs, and I can hear him through the walls. I'm like, all right, ticket downstairs. Let me go holler at the OG. Ticket is in the building. So trust me, I understand that. That's amazing. I also want to ask you about being in Cleveland during the decision times. Now, I want to ask, did you guys have any idea he was leaving? Did he tell y'all anything? What was that experience like at that time, being a part of the LeBron decision part?
Well, hey, I don't want to spend much time on this, but it was, no, we really didn't know. Me and him was real tight, especially at that time. I had an off season home in San Diego, so I was spending my off season in San Diego. That was part of the reason I wasn't doing a damn thing. but I was out in San Diego doing this, and this right after the Boston situation. Remember taking out the jersey. So soon as the season over, I'm gone. I'm in San Diego. So we talking every day. So I had an idea, you know. But we was in communication because we was tight. We was tight at the time. So obviously it was tough. I knew, shoot, you know, when something like that happened, man, you just know, like, damn, we're gonna be sorry next year. You know, that's all I was thinking about.
Good news is that after the following season, you get traded to the Clippers, and then before.
Hey, not before we lost 26 games in a row.
Oh yeah. Okay, but people forget you were the original showrunner in your debut with them. How much fun was it playing on this team? Obviously, with young BG, DJ. Were these the easiest lobs of your career? Like, how awesome was this? God, look at that.
So obviously, when I was with Cleveland with Bron, you know, that was kind of like the time of my career where I kind of blew up far as just who I was, just because I'm on TV a lot. But when I left, I went from one of the most miserable years of my career to one of the most happiest times of my life. Now, before that, I'm in Utah, Milwaukee, Cleveland. And then my next city is LA.
You finally hit.
So, Lou, you know what I mean.
You finally hit.
Hey, you know exactly what I mean. So I'm like, hold up, I'm going to LA? All right. And the great thing about it was I had an option to go to, it was either the Lakers or the Clippers. So I had two options, and I chose the Clippers. So when I went to LA and got around that group, so that group was young. You know, DJ was young, Blake was young, which I call Austin. So with that group, I was still young. I was 26, 27 at the time. We hung together all the time. Like, we was around each other a lot. We kicked it a lot. Blake used to come to my crib in San Diego because it was 2 hours away. So at the end of the day, like, that group was real connected, and it showed on the court. It showed on the court, and DJ and Blake, they were so young, man. You saw them highlight, man. Just throw the ball in the air. They going to get it. So it was fun. It was fun, and we was loaded too. People don't realize, and obviously when I got there, it was right after the lockout. Then CP came. So just imagine this group. This right before Jamal Crawford. So when I left, they just brought in Jay Cross. So it was CP, Caron Butler, Big Shot, Blake, DJ. Then off the bench, you had myself, Nick Young, Caron Butler, Eric Bledsoe, Reggie Evans, Kenya Mark.
Squad.
Come on, man.
I mean, it was fun to watch.
We had no expectations, right?
Freedom.
They didn't expect us to do nothing. So it was like a show on the road, because time we land, everybody on the board, hey, what we doing? What we doing? And we just go to the game, and we 10 deep during the game. We finna go out there and take care of business. So, all right, you ain't got it tonight? All right, bet. You ain't got it tonight? All right, bet. It was a fun team because we were so connected. It ain't nothing like being on a team that's connected.
That sounds fun, actually. Yeah, no, that's okay, perfect. Speaking of 2016, go back, Cleveland, beat the Warriors, win the championship. It's got to be hard to narrow down, but do you have a favorite memory or something, a story that sticks out from that season?
Oh yeah, I mean, for me, it was easier for me to go back. I mean, I was watching 2015. So, well, let me rewind. So I was in my 12th year at the time, and I was in Minnesota. We was the worst team in the league. And probably about 2 weeks before the trade deadline. So I wasn't playing at the beginning. We had just drafted Zach LaVine, and we was sorry. And Flip come to me and say, hey, I'm going to play the young fella, you know, just let you know. And he was real with me. So I was like, all right. So I'm just in this cold-ass city doing nothing. I get it. So I'm just going through the season. So it's probably maybe about 3 weeks before the trade deadline, Flip come up to me and say, hey, I'm gonna have to play you, man. Young fella ain't ready, you know, so just be ready to play. All right, I'm ready. So I played 3 weeks straight. I'm hooping. About a week before trade deadline, that's when I had 52. So I'm Western Conference Player of the Week, all that. So now all of a sudden we still sorry. And then Flip come to me and say, hey, I'm gonna have to play the young fella again, man. Ownership want to develop. This is how Flip talking to me now, just real with me. So I said, all right. He said, hey, but I want you to talk to your agent and find somewhere where you want to go. Because I can't look down at the end of that bench knowing you're supposed to be in the game and I can't put you in.
Wow.
I said, bet. So
solid coaching right there.
That's awesome.
So I said, bet. So I called my agent at the time and said, this is what's going on. Let's find some spots. So I'm talking to, the Lakers. It came down, make it long story short, it came down to the Lakers and it came down to Cleveland.
Oh, yeah.
So Cleveland, and this right before the trade deadline in 2015. So I'm talking to Cleveland. They was like, hey, get a buyout. We ain't got the assets to make the trade. All right, bet. Let's go to Flip. Hey, I want to go to Cleveland. I just need you to buy me out. Shit, I ain't making $100 million. I'm on, $5 million. You can buy that out. So, which I thought. Flip said again, hey, I ain't buying you out. I ain't just giving you away. You go find me a trade, we'll make that happen. So make long story short, I ended up going to Charlotte. So my first week in Charlotte, I averaged 30 and 8 the first week and win Eastern Conference Player of the month or week or whatever the case may be, month. So if you do your research, I might be the only person that has won Eastern Conference and Western Conference Player of the Month in the same season.
Back to back.
That's awesome.
That is actually awesome.
So y'all do the research and let me know.
Yeah, we're on it.
About a lot of guys don't get traded that much to, it ain't a lot of people.
No, not like that.
So I fast forward. So watching the finals in 15 and seeing them lose. So now the summer hit, I'm a free agent. So now I got the option. Lou, you can probably relate to this, and CPU too. Now at the end of your career, you can go make a little bit more money over here and be, miserable. You're not going to win and deal with some politics and all kind of stuff. Or you can go and say, all right,
be at peace somewhere.
Let me go win a championship, play for something that's bigger, and if we win a championship, I might give me one more bag. So that was my mindset. So I went back. Obviously, Kyrie was still hurt. If you remember 2016, Kyrie was still hurt. And we went through maybe the first, up until Christmas. I started, I'm playing 35, 36 minutes a game. And this is the story, and I'll shorten it as much as possible. And I think the world need to hear this. So I started, I'm averaging 14, 15, 6, 7 assists, solid. We number one in the East. Kyrie come back on Christmas. From Christmas into the playoff, I don't play.
Damn.
Don't play. This is a true story. I'm starting, I'm playing, and at the time, I didn't understand. Now, as I'm older and as a coach, I understand it now. But I go from starting, and T. Lou the coach, and that's my dog. Like, me and T. Lou go back outside of this basketball stuff. And I tell people all the time, and I coach different. I communicate with my kids a lot different because of this situation. T. Lou never came to me and said, Mo, you're not going to play no more. I went from starting. So on Christmas, that was the first game I didn't play. So on Christmas, I'm doing my normal warm-up. Like, okay, I started Kyrie back. So obviously Kyrie started. I'm backing him up. Like, it's simple math. So let me warm up and get ready to play. So end of the first, all right, Kyrie don't play the whole first quarter. Okay, bet. Let me get ready for the start of the second.
Top of the second.
So let me get ready. Next thing you know, he said, Deli. I said, oh.
That's not
We must be playing 3 guards today. So halftime come and get in. So now I'm like, well, I must not be in a rotation. So that kind of happened. Now, I didn't handle it well. That first month, I didn't handle it well. I'm in a funk. I'm showing up to practice, I'm out. You get what I mean? Like, ain't nothing to talk about. And Phil Handy was, our developmental coach. So I got to a point where I started to mature. I started to really, like, lock in. And I started to kind of really talk to myself in a way where they going to need you. I used to just say that type of stuff. They going to need you. So I used to, me and Phil used to go work out. So I used to get to the gym like 4 o'clock before everybody routine happened. Because now I'm playing 3-on-3 with the guys that ain't playing.
Stay ready games.
I go up, and at Cleveland, if y'all familiar with Cleveland, they got a gym upstairs. So Braun will have his workout like 3. He'll be done by like 4. So I have Phil come upstairs with me at 4 o'clock, and then we'll go through a whole workout. Now, I don't want to use profanity on you guys' show, but I'm in there going at them now. Y'all gonna need me. I'm at him. So that was like my mindset. So that happened for a month. Then, I didn't play the next game. I didn't play the next week. So it just went on and on. So we get to the playoffs. Make a long story short, I'm gonna shorten it because it's a long story. So we go through the whole second half of the season. We go through the playoffs, first round, second round, Eastern Conference Finals. Now we're in the finals. I don't play game 1, 2, 3, or 4. We down 3-1. Now, mind you, T. Lue still ain't came to me and said nothing. So I'm still preparing like I want to prepare. So at this time, I'm already coaching. I don't sit on the bench. I'm all the way at the end on one knee because I gotta stand up and down the whole game because I'm coaching. So I'm just down at the end on one knee. And Kyrie, that he either coming out 3 minutes ago in the first or start of the second. He played the whole first quarter. And all I heard was game 5, Mo. Man, I sprinted so fast to the check-in. I'm ready. And if y'all take the time and go look at those stats, those 3 games, I was solid. I knew my matchup. I knew what I was supposed to do. Get in. I'm 2 for 3 from the field. One of the floaters y'all saw was in the finals. And I played in game 5, 6, and 7, those backup minutes. And I use this story to tell kids, like, you got to always stay ready. Everything ain't going to go in your favor, but you got to stay ready. Don't mess your life up feeling sorry for yourself and nobody else will. You got to stay down and stay ready. So that's a memory that I have from that championship season.
That's
something
that
these kids in Kentucky are going to learn a lot from you, Mo.
Yeah, no, it's a good life. Mo, we appreciate the time, man. The best of luck to Kentucky.
Keep going,
season.
brother.
We'll be
good
watching.
luck with you.
Boogie will be watching
those 2 games against the Gators.
Okay,
good luck, Mo.
Whatever.
Oh, man.
Thanks, Mo.
I appreciate y'all.
All right. Speaking of college, by the way, you guys did a little mock drafts.
We certainly did.
Would you like to do that? Would you like to get to that right now?
Yeah, let's play.
I'm a little nervous.
Am I going first or
yeah,
Luis?
Yeah, you're going to go first. Luis, you're going to go first.
All right, by the way, we all know this draft is loaded, right?
We've heard, yeah.
So number 1
We
pick.
don't have to be experts. Just give them what we got.
Let me tell you here, I'm going to start from
No,
the top.
that's why I was like, why are we starting with Chandler?
Number 1, A.J. DeBonce. I think he's the safest. Oh, God, we're starting with number 5.
You know what, we'll
this
edit
might
that.
be a shocker to some, but I'm going with the big fella, Mara, who's a UCLA, transferred to Michigan, just won a natty. His measurements at the combine were insane. 7'6" wingspan. His standing reach was 9'9". He could touch the rim, basically. Not jumping. And there's exactly what they need. They just lost Zoo. This is the need pick. I think it's a little high talent-wise. I think he's more of like a 10 to 15 guy, but I love him here at 5. Number 4, Cam Boozer. I think he could either go 3 or 4. I think Chicago, again, this is a fit for him. His father played there. He's comfortable. Like I like him here. He's definitely more ready than some of these projects at 3. He's going to be an impact player right away. Number 3, this was Caleb Wilson. This guy could go 1, he could go 2, he could go 3, he could go 4. Like, we don't know. He is kind of the mystery, sexy pick of this draft. He's so talented. He's got game. He could end up being the best player in this draft, and I think he's a perfect fit for the culture and the organization of the Memphis Grizzlies. Number 2, it's dicey. I think there could be some sort of packages in the works to try and get the number 1 pick, but for now, I think it's Darren Peterson, only because I think, obviously, AJ goes number 1, but this kid, again, You don't know, but he could be the best player in the draft. He's super talented. There were stories throughout the whole college season about his work ethic, his toughness. I think that's all kind of put aside, and his talent will speak for itself. And number one, I think this is the safest pick. I think most people would take AJ number one. As much as he wants to go to Utah and be on the Jazz, the Wizards don't care, and he fits with AD and Trae Young and what they got going and that movement. There's some excitement in DC. So I think the safest way to save their job is to take AJ number one.
All right, so that's okay. That's the clear cut on Chandler's, Lou.
For me, at pick 5, I'm going Darius Acuff right here. Now, I know they just went and got Garland. I know they're 2 small guards, but in this draft, you got to go with what's best available. So I like Darius Acuff for the Clippers at 5. I can make a case for Mara, but again, I feel like Chandler. He can go later in the draft. But so right here, give me Darius Acuff at 5. 4, Cam Boozer for the Chicago Bulls. I think this makes sense.
That's fun.
He's a safe pick right there. I think he's going to be a talented player for Chicago, reloading with good assets, good young players that can get him over the hump. I think Cam Boozer is a great start for Chicago to do that. Number 3, I got Darren Peterson going number 3. I know he's projected to go 1 or going 2, but because of my 1 and 2 picks, I think he lands right there at 3. We all know what's going on with Ja Morant down in Memphis. This is a great opportunity for them to get a guard of the future if it doesn't work out. For years to come with Ja Morant and they move a different direction, you got a guy like Darren Peterson that'll be available right there at number 3. Number 2, I got A.J. DeBonsa going to Utah. Only reason I feel like that, so much has been invested to make sure this kid stays in Utah. I think they see it through and they get their guy and they're going to do whatever it takes to make sure he lands at them at number 2 if they don't trade up to make sure that he lands there. But one way or another, I think A.J. DeBonsa finds himself in a Utah Jazz uniform. And number 1, like Chandler just said, the mystery pick that can go from 1, 2, or 3, it's going to be young cat Caleb Wilson out of North Carolina. I think he's one of the more versatile players in the league. People gave me a hard time that I made a Tim Duncan comparison. No, I said Tim Duncan, a mix of Tim Duncan, a mix of Kevin Durant, a mix of KG. All of those things.
A hell of a mix.
Yeah, I think he can do all of those things. And I like him laying there at number 1. Already in Washington, you got Trae Young as your point guard. You got AD as your big. If you can convince AD to stick around and pair up with these guys, now you got your 3 and you got your stretch 4 as well that can fill in those gaps for you. So that's my top 5.
I love this time of year because we don't know anything.
We don't know anything.
What's crazy too is
those are my opinions.
Even like 6 to 12 though in this draft, you're going to get like a rotational starting level player. Like this draft.
There's going to be a Stephon Castle somewhere else. There's like this is always how it works. By
it's
the way,
a guy at a small school right now that's going to be a star.
It's going to be the guy.
You know, it's good. Personnel-wise, I love Peterson on the Grizzlies, and if he's available at 3, they're 1,000% taking him. I think he's kind of the tricky one, right? Like he's only 6'4.5", but his talent level, his shot making, his scoring, like the way he can put the ball in the basket, he's the most interesting one to me. I think if there wasn't all these rumors and kind of BS floating around him all season long, I think he would have went number 1.
Were they rumors, or did he actually just not finish?
I don't know. I'm not close enough to the story, but I just know that dude has game, and he could be a player, like an Anthony Edwards type.
That's not the highest ceiling guy. That's not who you think is the highest ceiling, is it?
I think he's going to be a great pro.
I mean, they're all. I don't know who's going to be best.
Good Lord.
I just did. Darren Peterson.
Caleb Wilson is the guy for me.
Wow, Darren Peterson with the highest ceiling. I know. So you stuck with that since like the beginning of all of this talk. Yeah. So that's going to be. Game 6 tomorrow, Spurs.
You nervous?
I won't give you a prediction if that's what you're asking. Go ahead.
What's the spread?
Who cares? Who's winning?
I think Minnesota forces a Game 7.
Oh, 4.5.
You got holes in your shirt, but it looked like you've been bleeding the whole time. He's not bleeding, everybody.
I probably am.
He all right.
Run it back, yeah.